Welcome back. Holding up for the market. So let's get chatting with our first corporate guest on the show. BLS International Services reported a strong set in the third quarter. The revenues were almost doubled. In fact, 93% growth out there. Shikhar Aggarwal, who's a joint managing director, joins in to detail this performance and, more importantly, whether this is sustainable or not. Shikhar, thank you for joining in. Q3 usually seasonally extremely strong for travel and business processors like you. Just wanted to know whether this is sustainable or not. In the fourth quarter, if I just look at this Q3 run rate, you are likely to end this year by 1,500 crores in terms of a top line. Is that a possibility? And your thoughts on the next year?
Definitely, Mangalam, as you know, this year we've done a revenue of 437 crores, which is upwards of 92% compared to the similar quarter last year. In fact, the EBITDA is also 66 crores, which is also more than 90% compared to similar quarter last year. So definitely Q3 in terms of travel is quite good in terms of global travel. Q4 is sometimes little flat in terms of travel because it's little cold in the European markets. But definitely, we expect a strong closure this year. And next year also, we expect to maintain these numbers. Not only maintain, we expect to, grow these numbers. Having said that, as you know, still, we are operating not fully in 2019 levels. Some countries like China and Russia are still semi-closed. So as soon as they open up, we will see a further increase in revenue from the existing contracts. The new contracts that we have deployed, like the German contract in US, Mexico, the Portuguese, the Philippines, all these contracts also will start showing up revenue for us.
Okay, all right. Hi, Shikhar. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining in. So this year you ended around 1,500 crores. There are a couple of geographies that will open up, as you mentioned, China as well as Russia in the next year. So for next year, what kind of a revenue number are you looking at?
See, definitely whatever numbers that we have achieved this year will be the base this year. We are doing only 70% to 75% of our application count pre-COVID. So all these applications, as and when they get added, whichever months they get added, we will definitely see an uptick in revenue for those months. On top of that, our contracts that we have been bidding, as I've said before, for $1.5 to $2 billion worth of contracts, the results are expected within next financial year. And if deployment also starts happening within next financial, we will see a good increase in revenue.
But Shikhar, what kind of a growth? I mean, will you look at a 20% growth on this base, a 25%, a 50% growth on a base of around 1,500 crores? Just trying to get a rough range in terms of your growth that you're targeting for the next year.
See, last year, same quarter, we have already done a 90% growth, in revenue. So exact numbers, I don't know, but definitely, if the numbers from Russia and China come up, we'll definitely 15 to 20% growth at a base minimum level.
All right, minimum 15 to 20% provided Russia and China come to the fore. What are the typical volumes related to Russia and China? I mean, the first 10 months, I presume you would have processed around 10 million applications. You targeted 15 million applications for this year, which is similar to the pre-COVID levels. How many applications come from Russia and China typically?
So around 30 to 35% of the entire kitty comes from Russia and China.
Okay.
Those are the major travel markets. So definitely, as soon as they open up fully, we will definitely, as any other visa outsourcing provider in the world, we'll also get a good traction, from those geographies. Oh. Also, as you know, recently we acquired a company, Zero Mass Limited. In this quarter, there's a revenue of 42 crores also from that segment and a profit of around 10 crores from that segment.
Okay, and on the visa applications itself, how many have you done in the first 9 months? What's your target for this year?
So exact numbers right now I need to check, but I think total volume we have already done 7 to 8 million.
7 to 8 million, and you'll end the year around?
This quarter, I think probably more than 10 million.
So for the year, you'll do 10 million?
Correct.
So we are going around 2 to 3 million is what you're expecting in quarter 4.
Correct.
What about the rough margin number? In the previous quarter, you did closer around 16%. This quarter, it was closer around 15%. The rough band we should be looking at?
It should be similar. The band, as you know, the margins have improved from pre-COVID level because of increase in per application revenue and our decrease in cost, that we have sustained from COVID levels. We have not increased our cost, in a big way. We have learned new way of doing business. That is the reason our margins have grown and we expect the margins to sustain.
Right. Just wanted to understand your revenue a little further. You have told us that 80-85% of your revenue is coming from visa and passports, around 15% coming in from banking and correspondence, etc. Can you break it up further for us? I mean, visa processing accounts for how much? Value-added services, which is like courier, premium lounge, etc., accounts for how much? Passport renewal services, etc., account for how much? And what are their margin, contributions to you?
Correct. So see, revenue in terms, when I've said 85%, that includes the revenue from visa, consular, passport, value-added services. We do not break down that revenue because revenue is generated on a country basis. So definitely margins from all the services are typically the same, more than 15% EBITDA margins, what we are doing on a consolidated level within the company. In terms of the digital service business, 15% revenue is now we have, branded it as the digital service business, which includes the e-governance, the banking correspondent, the zero mass company that acquired. As I've told you, out of that 15%, 42 crore comes from zero mass, that the entity that we acquired.
Okay. All right, Shikhar, final question then. You continue to look at inorganic growth, and you've mentioned that in the past as well, provided it meets the IRR, threshold. What is that threshold?
See, threshold is that we want to recover our investment within a matter of 4 to 5 years.
Okay.
We are looking at EBITDA positive companies that can add profitability and top line to the company, and also, help us grow. So we can actually, gain advantage of economies of scale, combine our offices, so profitability actually increases. So as you'll see that last year, we already acquired a sizable company of 150 crores. This year and within next year, we are looking at some opportunities. Definitely, we want to acquire companies to grow.
All right, take that point, Shikhar. Thank you for joining in, looking at companies which allow you a payback period of 4 to 5 odd years on your initial investment, and thereafter they allow you to grow as well. Target 10 million applications this year, at least 15 to 20% growth next year, provided Russia and China bring out their volumes. With that, we step into a short break, come back on the other side, we get you more on the markets and individual stocks.